아Tn 경기장 도시양.
Alright guys, so here at the 1 o'clock position on Atlanta Spaceship, we have our yellow Zerg player, that is alternate attacks DarKFoRcE. His opponent over at the 8 o'clock position, hailing from Team Prime, that is Classic. He's our red Protoss player, so here we are, PvZ action on Atlanta Spaceship, and if you guys remember last night, this map made for a very fun game between NSOS's Jockji and Startail July, so maybe we'll have something that'll live up to that today.
Yeah, certainly could. I'll have to see. Every time I hear the map name Atlanta Spaceship, I think of Jefferson Starship, which is an older band. I don't know why. They played a song in the Star Wars Holiday Special. That's why I remember.
I'm sorry. I only like my Jefferson in the airplane days, so I apologize.
I only like my Jeffersons on money.
Flashing Washingtons here, guys! Woo!
It's all about the Lincolns, baby.
We are so high class at IGN, you don't even know.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Anyway,
my Scrooge McDuck fortune back at wherever I live right now,
I often have wanted some sort of a Scrooge McDuck bathtub full of money. That's really all I want in life.
You know, if you actually jumped on a giant pile of coins like that, it would just hurt. Because it's just a giant pile of metal. That's what it is.
But you know what happens?
Dive into it.
You're like, oh, well, guess what? This was a pile of money. I don't care what this injury does to me.
It's true. So. I suppose you can afford it, but then you're like, money pile is like a foot lower than it was or something.
I guess so. Oh, is that commentary on the healthcare system?
Health.
We're done with that.
I was going to say, yeah, you might need a couple fortunes for that. But
you uninsured? Well, anyway.
Are you a duck with a back injury?
Possibly. Scrooge McDuck often is. Let's see here.
Forge expand for Classic.Prime.
Yep. Cool. First for DarKFoRcE. And we'll see how Classic wants to follow this up. See if we see any shenanigans, or if he's going to be content with just blocking this hatchery as long as he can. With that pool first, the Zerglings are going to be able to pretty much deal with any sort of blockage.
Yeah. I just... What is this, an advertisement for like a drain cleaner or something?
Yes, and or laxatives.
All right. Oh, well... That too, I guess.
Yes, Zerglings, useful for that. Seldom-known fact.
Actually, just letting DarKFoRcE get the hatchery down. He kind of came back in, just looking to see what was up, and the hatchery got down without issue. Interesting little move there by Classic.Prime. Lost his probe as well.
Yeah.
So concentration slipping slightly there, but he is going to be able to get enough stuff down in time that those Zerglings are not going to be able to get into the base. At least he should anyway.
Right. And Photon Cannon just about finished now. Let's see here. DarKFoRcE does have his first gas coming up at the moment, so we'll be saving up for speed here in a bit. Wanted to make sure he had both queens underway and a nice economic footing to stand on first.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Zerglings approaching ever closer to the wall in. Is he going to get something down in time? Oh man, it's actually going to be pretty close. He is actually just going to, all right.
Turn around.
DarKFoRcE is going to turn around.
Well, I guess by that time, let's see, the cannon ranges to about here. 1, 2, maybe could have gotten a Zergling through, but it would have been very hard.
I had the impression he was sending more Zerglings down there than just 2 as well. I
mean,
if
keeping them for map control, yeah.
If you try to run those past there, then there's a better chance that they won't be able to get in. And
he'll
just end up wasting them. As you can see, he has them spread out all over the map, which is a very nice idea.
Yeah, certainly.
Yep, definitely something you want to do.
Yeah, he has pretty good map control right now. I mean, this is a very, very, very large map, so DarKFoRcE is playing this very intelligently, making sure that he has map control absolutely everywhere before he decides to move anywhere else. Looks like he saved up enough gas to begin Zergling speed, then pulled all but one drone off of that extractor.
Well, it's actually really refreshing to see DarKFoRcE spreading some Zerglings all over the map, because so many Zergs don't do that, even at the pro level. They just kind of scout with overlords a little bit. They maybe put like one Zergling in front of their opponent's base and like, there. Now I know everything. But no, a good Zerg player is going to take those Zerglings. They're like 25 minerals basically and half a supply. Spread them out all over the map. You know, if you can see, the more of the map you can see, obviously the better position that you're going to be in. So it's nice to see a Zerg player actually doing that.
Sure, I think we're going to see greater prevalence of that as well. I mean, especially, I mean, if you think about ZBT, it always used to be, well, Zerglings were going to take map control. There's nothing you can do about that. But now that reactored Hellion is the norm, it's a lot easier for Terrans to gain map control at the beginning. So I think we'll start to see a lot more forced unit map control. But Looks like Classic gets in there with 1 Zealot running around, but he is going to have to face 5 Zerglings here in a second. That does not bode well for our Zealot friend.
Could be a good micro fight. We'll have to see what happens here. And DarKFoRcE, yeah, he's actually pulling away the Zerglings that are getting hit. Really nice micro by DarKFoRcE. Wow, killing the Zealot without losing a single Ling.
Very nice.
Awesome. I like to see that kind of stuff. Really great play from DarKFoRcE so far. Saw him take his 3rd a little bit ago as well. And what is Classic.Prime planning? Getting his 4th gas already?
Yeah. I was going to say quad gas, but no tech quite yet, so I don't know if we were going to see quick Twilight Council or if there was going to be... Okay, there's the Twilight Council. That's kind of what I was waiting for. All right.
Not too surprising there.
So let's see. Back on Classic side of things, he does have his Evolution Chamber and Lair Tech coming up, but, I'm sorry, DarKFoRcE, he does only have 2 gas at the moment, though, not going up to 3rd or 4th quite yet. If he was going to go after something other than, you know, good upgrades, I would expect to see some more gas here in a bit, but he could throw us totally for a loop. Oh, there's our missile attacks. That should clue us in.
Yeah, I think we're going to see just kind of big, heavy roach play from DarKFoRcE this game. That kind of looks like what he's aiming for. He could add Hydras on a little bit later, I suppose, and could add Tech on to react to whatever he sees. But for now, it looks like he just wants to have kind of a big, beefy Roach army to try to do some damage early on, control the map a little bit better. But, you know, Roaches don't traditionally do terribly well against Blink Stalkers, and that's exactly what we're going to see out of Classic.Prime. It's going to be 7-gate Blink Stalker on 2 base. So this is going to gear up for a pretty big push here. It's going to probably be around when +2 finishes. That's the normal timing generally.
And +2 is indeed on the way. Taking a look back at DarKFoRcE's side of things, so he's already researching Burrow, which is a nice touch, and will significantly help him in the engagement that is to come. He's not produced any Roaches yet, I believe, but he is getting the upgrades in place to go ahead and continue with those.
Yep, Burrow as well. So it's kind of interesting. This is almost kind of, well, it's on 3 bases, but it's similar to how Zergs used to play against Protoss quite a bit. They would rush for a Roach and a burrowed Roach, just because back then it was thought that that was one of the only ways you could defend against early pushes from Protoss. And, you know, a lot of Zergs just kind of adopted that as their style. Looks like he will be going ahead and getting Infestation Pit, though, too, so he'll be adding on a little bit more than that this time.
Roach speed is coming up now, though, so... and he does finally have gases 5 and 6, so he will have the gas to be able to support all those infestors that he wants to put up in a bit. They are quite the gas ink. DarKFoRcE, though, coming in with a lot of units. There's actually not anything here for Classic. He's run away through the middle of the map.
Cool, yeah. Classic really out of position here. DarKFoRcE could potentially break in and do some damage, sending those Lings in to kill basically everything.
Yeah.
And Classic.Prime is not turning around. Wow.
No, he is not. Let's see. One of those does go down. It looks like DarKFoRcE is going to start flooding his way through. +2 is not finished yet, but DarKFoRcE doesn't really have the ability to go through those Zealots in that small choke point there. Here comes Classic, though, making his way up, and it looks like he may do a lot of damage to the hatchery. A few Roaches are trapped off, but the burrow is finished, and there's no detection sitting overhead for Classic at the moment. A few Stalkers making their way up. Blink is finished, as a matter of fact. DarKFoRcE does not have that great of engagement, but he surrounds those units with the Zerglings at the back.
Oh, and more importantly, he traps all the sentries, kills every single one of them, and saves his hatchery. Really nice play from DarKFoRcE there.
Yeah, very, very well done. And nice patience shown as well. Didn't pull back with all the Roaches right away. Kept them there to keep the pressure on, or keep Classic having the pressure on, and then swung around with those Zerglings at the back.
Yep, that is correct. So the Stalker is still a little bit of a threat, but without the sentry is much less of one. And just the numbers that they have right now aren't that much of a threat to the Zerg player either. The supply is looking pretty good for DarKFoRcE. And yeah, as soon as Infestors hit the field too, I mean, that's going to make it even more difficult for Classic.Prime to do any damage with those Stalkers.
Right. Pathogen Glands is well on the way, and he's going to have enough gas for a few Infestors to pop up all at the same time. A ping! A ping! What would a team game be on IPL without a ping?
That's right. Well, Overseer did scout that pylon near the Protoss player's base, so there you go. That's what happened there, pretty much. It's an Overseer. All right.
All right, well, 10 more Roaches coming up now. It's going to be 165 supply for DarKFoRcE, even after a pretty decent-sized engagement. Before the 13-minute mark, his macro is really, really good at the moment, and he's invested in tech at the same time.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to make any more drones at this point either, too. He can just pump Roaches for a while. This is a pretty scary force coming in for Classic.Prime, but a scarier defense from our Zerg player. Look at that. Yeah, just microing in, going after the Stalkers. Nice Blink Stalker micro by Classic.Prime, but... you know, will it be enough? That is a lot of Roaches.
Yeah, it really is. And regardless, looks like Classic is going to be very, very far down on units here in just a second. Another 16 roaches about to pop up as well. So even though, like you said, Classic.Prime's had really good micro here, there's just so much stuff for DarKFoRcE, and it just keeps pushing these units back. And he's going to be, look at that, already flooding in with tons of more roaches.
Yeah, Stalker's taking a lot of damage there, but I think DarKFoRcE has enough to hold this off for now. He could really use that +2 weapons upgrade to be finished right now, though. I mean, that's really what's giving Classic.Prime the edge at the moment, is that he does have +2 and DarKFoRcE does not. For the moment, anyway.
Yeah, let's see here as Roach is moving towards the back, just waiting for the Stalkers to move up just a little bit. The Roaches don't want to engage right here off of creep, so... And let's see, another 24 Lynx flooding in behind this as well. This poor Observer is going to get shot down in a second, maybe. Nope.
He's okay.
He's all right, guys. The game may be saved.
The audience claps as the Observer is helped off the field.
More like a golf clap.
Yep.
All right.
I'd clap.
Would you?
I would.
You're better mannered than I am.
Oh, well, that's
I root for Observers to get killed. So
in certain circumstances, although probes, they can all just like die.
Well, I'm good with you on that one. So yeah. 6 Infestors now being added. Of course, Pathogen Glands is done, so a couple of fungals to lock down units when this engagement happens. It's going to be quite useful. Let's see what the worker count is. 60 to 51 at the moment. Of course, Classic is not expanded. He really wants this to work. May have there's his third Nexus. Yep. So I was waiting for.
Yep, he's pretty far behind right now. I mean, DarKFoRcE will have to see if he decides to get aggressive here at all. I mean, he has to know he has some sort of edge.
Yeah, I would think so, especially because he has the ping revealed to us before. He was diligent with sending out his Overseers to see what his opponent had.
Yep, at the very least, you should start taking another expansion or two. There's no reason to sit on 3 bases this long if you're not going to be aggressive.
Sure.
Looks like he wants to do some killing, though, sending out the Zerglings ahead of the Roaches. And the fight is going to happen at the 3rd for Classic.Prime. Does he have what it takes to win?
All right, well, we'll see. He's going to make his way in here in just a second. It's a good concave for Classic. It would be difficult for DarKFoRcE to attack directly into that, and so he's just going to walk around the other side.
That's right. Bunch of Zerglings going around the outside.
Yep.
Around the outside. Oh, now I've got that song in my head. I hate that song. Why did I do that?
Around the outside. Oh, boy.
Parasite coming out for DarKFoRcE. The Infestor play could get pretty fun after that finishes.
Very much so.
And the big stream in.
Busts his way through the main, so he's going to wreak a lot of havoc and split this force in half for Classic. Classic trying to deal with both these attacks at once, and that's so much damage just dealing its way down for DarKFoRcE.
Fungals, too.
Pinning so many units in place, allowing those Roaches to do their damage. 90 supply to 180 at the moment in favor of DarKFoRcE. Continued damage being done inside of the main.
Yeah, really smart move to send a big group of Zerglings into the main, too, just because that really divides the attention of the player you're playing against as well. I mean, DarKFoRcE has all but wrapped up this game at this point. He's going to be able to take out this 3rd base, most likely.
Yeah, there it is. GG.